Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, To Punish Every Act of Disobedience. To punish every act of disobedience. Call halal Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI. Call halal Yimla, Alahayanawa, Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI. Back with a quick lesson. I don't want to make this too long, just a quick hit, something that's on my spirit, but disobedience. This has been a major problem, even going all the way back to the garden, to the garden with Adam and Eve. Ultimately, the woman Eve, because she disobeyed the Lord's words, man. And there's countless, there's countless examples, even going back to Lot's wife. When Lot's wife, when Lot and his wife, and they were gonna leave Sodom and Gomorrah, man. They were instructed. They were heavily, fully instructed not to look back. And what did what did Lot's wife do? She looked back, and the Lord did away with her. And even still, going through, there's countless examples, man. And then here we are in 2023 in October, the disobedience, the disobedience of people, and a lot of marriages, have been have failed because of disobedience, and the women are, you are supposed to be submissive and to submit, and to obey, your husband. And, the men are supposed to love their wives, man. And in the way, in the way we're supposed to. We're supposed to love our wife, man. If you don't get it, we're moving on. You're supposed to love your wife. Love her. And there's which way that I mean love your wife, man. Marvin Gaye has a song called Let's Get It On. That way. But the disobedience has been this has been an ongoing problem for so long. And judgment is a lot of people's judgments are going to be horrific because of the disobedience ultimately to the Lord, man. Men, women, and children. But disobedience is destroyed a lot of people, and it's gonna cause a lot of people to get judged in the end here. But I'm gonna go to let me go to 2 Corinthians 2 Corinthians 10:5, and it reads, it says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Lord, and bringing it into captivity, every thought to the obedience of YAHAWAHSHI. See? So really through, through this word, things that are exalting themselves above the Lord's word, you rebuke it, and ultimately everything is in the hands of the Lord, because he, the Father has the final say so, on the things that are exalting themselves and that are proud and are arrogant. And this is a very, hot topic as far as in the world right now. People, they get to a certain level and they, they get exalted, they exalt themselves, or even, these different, you got celebrities, you got these politicians and stuff, they're highly exalted and get arrogant and proud, and they feel that they're going to do things their way. But you also have, on down to the children that are disobedient to their parents. You got a lot of children that are very, very, very disobedient and disrespectful to their parents. You see, and like I said, relationships, even friendship, the loyalty, the trust, the disobedience, man. But the Lord has set up the heavenly order, and the heavenly order is the man to rule over the woman, and then the son, Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, the deliverer, the savior. He rules over the man and woman and children, and then the father is the head over the son, Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI, Yahawah, which means he is. That's the heavenly order, and this order is coming back on earth. The Lord is going to establish this, back on earth, and you have many wives, that are completely, disobedient to their husbands. They're very disobedient. Their husband tells them to do something, and they're disobedient. On down to the children. You tell your son or your daughter to do something, they don't want to listen. They don't want to do what they're told. But ultimately it goes to doing thus saith the Lord. And those that don't obey the gospel, there is horrific, judgment that's coming. And I'll go straight to it. Let's go to Jeremiah. I'll close out with this. I don't want to make this too long, but every form of disobedience, the Lord, there's judgment coming. There is horrific judgment coming to the men, women, and children, ultimately to Israel, to 2/3 of the Lord's people. They just don't want to get in this heavenly order. They refuse to do it, so, and then also, the other nations are going to be destroyed too. So let's go here. I'll close out with this, because this is the future judgment that's coming for the arrogancy that's being to be disobedient in every form, man, in every act of disobedience. You tell your child, don't eat that. They eat it anyway. You tell your child, to sit down. They don't do it. You tell your wife, go to the store. They don't do it. I mean, there's all different examples you know, not listening, you know, not doing what you're told, you know, and this is going to cause a lot of people to be put to death. So the Lord has judgment. He has everybody that's not of the elect. The Lord has a assigned judgment for you. So let's go here. Let's go here. Jeremiah. I'll close out with this. Jeremiah, like I said, I don't want to make this too long. Jeremiah 15 and Jeremiah 15:2. And it reads, the Lord has an individual judgment for those that are not a part of the elect. You're going to be judged. Like you know, you could be working and doing good, and you know, but you know, and been arrogant and proud and hard-headed and disobedient in all kinds of ways, ultimately to the Lord, that you're not doing thus saith the Lord. And like I said, ultimately this is to Israel. But Jeremiah 15:2, and it reads, so this is coming to those that don't want to obey the gospel. It says, Jeremiah 15:2, it says, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? It says, then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death to death. It says, and such are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such are for the captivity to the captivity. 3, it says, this the point right here. It says, and I will appoint over them. See, I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord. The sword to slay. Now, this weaponry is known as the sword, the modern day gun. You have bombs and you know, grenades and explosions and stuff like that. That's coming. That's the sword. You know, a lot of people, you know, they're finna run to get the gun in this end time, and that's how they're gonna perish, by the sword. You see, by these weapons. You know, it says, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord. So you want to run to that gun? That's how you're gonna end up perishing. You know, that's how you're going to end up getting put to death. The Lord, he assigned your judgment. It says, and the dogs to tear. You know, there's you know, there is, you know, because there's a famine coming. You know, there's a famine coming, and there's going to be chaos in these cities and pestilence and stuff like that. And then you're going to have people trying to run to these bug out places and different rural areas where it ain't no 7-Eleven or no stores where you can stop or Jack in the Box or McDonald's to get you a quick hamburger or French fry. It ain't gonna be none of that, man. There's a famine coming, and you're starting to see more and more wild animals enter into these cities, and you're also going to have these zoo animals that get loose. You know, that's going to be out, man. You know, because society is going to collapse. You know, so you know, you have wolves and foxes and stuff like that, and even your average pit bull or Rottweiler, when it ain't no food going, you know, the Lord gonna put the spirit on these animals to, you know, to eat you. You know, that's gonna be that's gonna be some people's judgment, man. It says, and the dogs to tear. It says, and the fowls of the heaven, the birds. You know, the birds are gonna start attacking, you know, people, man. The Lord gonna put this. He gonna pour His spirit all the way out. You got eagles and these ravens and vultures and stuff like that that are gonna attack, man. These are all judgments of the Lord that He finna send. It says, It says, and the beast of the earth to devour and destroy. You're going to have, these, you're going to ride along, even with these, bears and the lions and, leopards and stuff like that, that are going to be out here, man. Because we're going into a time like never before, man. And there's just no escaping none of these judgments, man. You're going to have violence, pestilence, famine, the hand-to-hand combats, these wild animals running loose, and they're going to be eating people. This is the judgment, man. This is the judgment. This is why it is so crucial to be obedient in this time. But you have 2/3 of Israel, a lot of our people, they just don't, they don't want to do it, man. They don't want to listen. This is why you women, the children, you to be obedient and to listen, man. Because if, the Lord, he's not dealing with no attitudes. You women and hard-headed men and children, you think that you're going to do it your way. It ain't going to happen, man. There is some devastating, horrific judgment, death that's coming in the end here. The Lord going to send, there's going to start being explosions, blowing up. There are going to be explosions going into these different buildings and stuff, and riots coming. I was just looking at the news last night. And I think out there in Sacramento, I think it was an ex-football coach for a high school team. He came off the train and a group of teenagers just mauled him. They just jumped him and damn near killed him, man. A form of violence, a form of people are going to die of starvation. People are going to witness their own kids die of starvation, man, and even eating their children. The judgment is going to be, judgment is going to be serious, man, because people don't want to be obedient and obey the gospel and get in order, man. And the Lord is giving everybody time, ultimately Israel, man, to get in line, man, to get in order, to be obedient. You women, be obedient to your men. Men love your women, to be truthful and upstanding. We know it's hard, man. It's hard to be righteous and walk this narrow gate. It's tough, but you gotta endure, and seek the Lord with all thine heart, man. The judgment, man, for the punishment for this disobedience is, it's horrific deaths coming, because like I said, 2/3 of our people, they don't want to get it, man. They don't want to get in line. The men, women, and children, 2/3 of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, just completely disobedient, man. Disobedient, just don't want to listen. So the Lord is coming. He got judgment lined up, and it's just no escaping this, because you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to be obedient. Your arrogant attitudes and being unthankful and ungrateful and being disrespectful, you little kids and children and women, and putting your hands on men, and you men lying and being unrighteous and stuff like that, man. Man, the Lord, he is the judgment. There's some close people that's going to be put to death in our families, man, because of the disobedience, the arrogancy, the proud, and not obeying the gospel. It's some horrific. It's some suffering coming. There's some suffering coming, because they just don't want to be obedient. So, boy, man, it's some very close ones that's going to be put to death in this end here. So it's just something on my spirit, man. Seek the Lord while seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Get in order. Get in order, because the doors of mercy are closing. And the Lord said that my eye shall not spare. So, you know, there's a chance to, you know, come back to the Lord and serve him. And Lord willing, you get saved out of this. Because you can't come back to the Lord and think that you're going to run some games on him. You got to come clean, man. You got to come clean, because if you don't, the Lord, he's going to spew you out of his mouth, and you're going to be judged, man. So, you know, hopefully we're edified. I don't want to come back with another lesson, but I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakak, Wadash. Shalom, Israel.